Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So if you watched the last video, we kind of went through the back half of the car, just checking the suspension components, making sure they were all tight. I have a drift day coming up, so I just wanted to make sure this is all good because I haven't had time to go through this car. It's still fairly new to me, just haven't had time to work on it. So today I'm just going to kind of pick up on that and work on the front half of the car, just checking the suspension components there. The first thing I'm going to do is start with the top, kind of going through the engine bay. Flip this camera around. I'm going to pull the front strut bar off, just make sure that the top of the struts are all good and tight. Then I'm going to be moving down to the bottom of the car, checking the suspension components down there and making sure those are all good. See, it's a little bit dirty. I'm also going to change the oil. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so went through all the top strut bolts on both sides and tightened those up. I did get a little bit of plate out of both sides, a little bit more out of the driver's side. So I'm hoping, I was getting a little bit of clunking, so I hope that I was able to fix it. But if not, I'm also going to check this top strut nut right here. I do have adjustable VC racing coilovers, so if you have those, let me see if I can focus on that. These right here with the adjusters, you take these off. It's just a 14 millimeter, just regular threads. Just unscrew that to the left, pull it straight up, and loosen this one. So just loosen it up, pull it straight up, put that to the side, and then this is just a 19 millimeter. So I'm going to hit that with my gun and just make sure that that's tight, and then put the adjuster back on. Alright guys, so I got the front wheels off. I'm just going to check the suspension components kind of underneath the car, I guess. So we'll start from the top, kind of the upper control arm. Got two 14 millimeter bolts that secure those up. There's one right there. This is the passenger side, but one right there. Then the upper control arm to the knuckle. It's a 22 millimeter. So check the lower strut mount. That's a 17. That bolt right there for the lower control arm is a 19. Also had a couple. I have aftermarket suspension, so I do have a couple of lock nuts that I need to check. So there's one right here. A little hard to see, but then there's another one right there. I don't have the sizes on those. I just use a kind of bigger adjustable wrench, and then one underneath here for the tie rod end. Also check the just the brake caliper mounts. Also I do have coilovers, so just the perches, just to make sure that those weren't loose. I also slid underneath and just kind of check the, I don't know if you can see it, but the transmission mount. Those are just four 14 millimeter bolts. So yeah, I checked all those. I did find a little bit of looseness in some of the lock nuts, so I tightened those up, so we should be good there. I'm going to move on to changing the oil right now. Filters. This is the one I took off the car. This is what I'm going to be replacing it with. So I think this is what you'd get, you know, if you just went down to the parts store and asked for one for the 350Z. I did look this one up. You can see how much bigger it is. It's also taller. It's also a little bit wider. This one actually just screws right onto the oil filter without any issues. It's a WIX oil filter. The WIX part number is 51347. If you have a Napa nearby, they have their part number is 1347. It's the same filter. Napa just has one branded for them, but it is a WIX filter. So if you wanted to, I guess, upgrade your filtration a little bit, this is one way you could do it.